the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars Wrestling Show. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tark. What's up, sir?
All is well with the universe, sir. Because, wow, the corniest of corny titled wrestling events actually turned out to be a pretty good show.
Yes, indeed. Do you concur, Scholar Brian?
It's the shows you expect the least to be good that always turn out to be at least somewhat enjoyable. I won't go as far as to say that it was great or anything like that, but I didn't.
Hey, I said good, not great.
It's not one of those shows where you sit down and you're like, I hate myself. Why am I doing this to myself? There was some good stuff. There was some great stuff on the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And before we get into all that, let's kick things off the proper way with a little bit of backstage news.
Yes. Peeking in behind that curtain. Checking in on a little
Backstage
news.
Fireball, man.
And those balls were fiery.
Speaking of fiery balls...
Or if you're Sasha Banks, eat balls. You seen that picture?
I saw that meme.
Yes. Yes.
I have no words.
From big cast to big ass.
No chill whatsoever.
I have absolutely no words. But apparently you know who does have words. Apparently Alberto Del Rio and Paige. There's a lot of trouble in paradise. I'm not just talking about Kofi Kingston.
I always
Alberto
knew
Del Rio is a dick.
I always knew he was a piece of shit. And of course, because of this scandal, he's suspended from Impact
Global Impact Force Wrestling.
Yeah, that one. I know that's not really it, but
then you've got the pure.
We'll just call it Global Impact Force Wrestling.
And then you got the pure
Scholars
battered
Wrestling
wife.
canon.
You got the battered wife syndrome. That Paige put a statement out saying that she was the one who was doing the domestic abuse, and all this is on her. It's like. Why is the written report all about Del Rio? Huh? That's it.
Yeah,
you're not fooling anyone.
El Patron or Patron, whatever the fungal he wants to be called. I'm not saving my one F-bomb on Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, there's really nothing funny about this. This is just very, very, very scary. And right now, it just seems like the entire wrestling world and wrestling fandom is just trying to put this whole situation on blast, if for no reason, then the whole world can know about it. Del Rio can get publicly lambasted for what he did, and just someone close to the situation can do something and stop this.
You can just tell from that one video clip of that one show. I don't remember what it was it? Where he was just not doing nothing but trashing on WWE. You just can tell something like he is just one angry person. Because one thing, the man's just not letting go. Yes, you don't like WWE. WWE treated you terribly. But you know what? Hey, you're not even worth the time in my book. So, I always knew you were a piece of shit, and this is just the confirmation of it.
And if that's all it takes to turn you into a piece of shit, then that's all I need to know.
I really I don't know the full details. I don't think really anyone knows.
But it doesn't look good.
I feel kind of bad for Paige, just because what Brian said, she's doing the battered wife syndrome, and I saw that tweet. She's like, "Everyone leave us alone" and all that. It's kind of sad. It really is.
It's extremely sad, extremely troubling. But at least now, a lot of the things like the whole Chris Benoit incident, we only hear about after the fact. With this one, it's a pretty public bonfire. So, please, if you're a friend of Paige or are influential in the life of Alberto Del Rio, El Patron, whatever he wants to call himself this day, please intervene. Paige, get help. You deserve better. Turn your life around. Do what you got to do, please. But in the better part of turning your life around, I did not realize this today, but apparently the Mae Young Classic tapings are happening today, Thursday, as of the day of this recording.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Today is Thursday, which means, supposedly, according to reports, 16 matches, the first round of matches are going to be taped today.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow are going to be the next 14 matches, or roughly. And then the live finale of the tournament is going to take place supposedly on September 12th.
I was even just about to ask, when are they going to be airing these tapes? These tapings.
It is not currently known, but I personally, if I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it probably wouldn't be too far away.
I can imagine it being after SummerSlam.
Yeah, they'll probably do it in a similar way that they did to the Cruiserweight Classic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do a few matches a week, and then every week they'll just sort of build up just in time for September 12th. Like, let's say between all the rounds and all that, if I had to hazard a guess, I'd say probably within the next few weeks, so that all the matches can be divided up week by week by week.
Well,
leading up to September 12th when they closed out.
They did the Cruiserweight Classic. When they did that, it was 4 matches a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'd go with the same kind of thing that you were talking about. That makes the most sense to me. That they didn't have for the UK tournament. Did they have 32 or did they have 16?
I don't remember.
I believe 16.
16, and that's why they did it over the course of 2 days.
Yeah, it was during the whole weekend. I think 16.
With this 32, it makes sense to take your time and build it up. Hopefully, they treat the women better than the cruiserweights after the Cruiserweight Classic.
I'm just intrigued on the prize they get, because I hear it's another championship title.
God damn it.
Well, let me ask you this.
I was like, for what?
Let me ask you this. Even though last time I checked, the tapings are not nearly close to being done yet, do we
had someone actually wrestle
now.
Like a match to get into the tournament, so that person has a shot? Because they actually had to wrestle to get in, and that's normally a storyline kind of thing. So,
okay, here's Aisha Raymond, Bianca Belair, who I believe, she just wrestled in the name Bianca Blair. Let's see, we also have Candice LeRae, as we were talking, Dakota Kai, Jazzy Gabert, Kairi Sane, who is Kairi Hojo, Kavita Devi, Kaylee Ray, Lacey Evans, Marty Bell, Mercedes Martinez, Mia Yim, Miranda Salinas, Nicole Savoy, Piper Niven, Princessa Shugit, I can never pronounce that right, Rachel Evers, Reina Gonzalez, Renee Michelle, Rhea Ripley, Sage Beckett, Santana Garrett, Sarah Logan, Serena Deeb is back, Shayna Baszler, Tainara Conti, Tessa Blanchard, Toni Storm, Vanessa Bourne, Zia Lee, and Zeta. Both of those are from China. So yeah, I'm gonna show my my team loyalty here. I'm gonna say I'm basically just going to say Kairi Sane is gonna win this.
There you go.
After just seeing what Kairi Hojo can do and the kind of hype that they're bringing in as far as her inclusion to WWE and the NXT brand, I'm just gonna go with Kairi Hojo here. Any other early picks, or is it too early to call?
I think it's too early for me to call, because some of these names I don't know, so I gotta look into it and see who has a good chance.
Yeah, well then again, a lot of these people have also had their names recently changed.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Yeah. Supposedly there's.
I mean, you have the names that you recognize: the Candice LeRae's, the Kimberlys, all that. The thing about these tournaments, okay, is the WWE regularly makes it where it's the people that you don't recognize that win in the end.
Oh, here's a good one.
TJ Perkins, did anybody really think he was going to win the whole thing?
No.
When
but
they
again,
started,
here's
Tyler Bate, he didn't. Tyler Bate.
Well, then again, to the U.S. audience, a lot of those were pretty much unknowns. Oh, here's a good one. This Sage Beckett woman, she was the woman who wrestled in TNA under the name Rosie Lotolove. Does anyone remember her?
Oh, she hurt people. Oh, that should be fun.
Yes, I believe she retired Daphne, didn't she?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who will she retire in this tournament?
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, so either way, there's
she's
still
definitely.
really
I'm reading into her. She's definitely going to make the Final Four at least.
Who's that?
Sage Beckett.
Yeah, supposedly she trimmed down a lot, and she's in like way better shape now. But either way, no matter how you slice it, whether you recognize the names or not, this is still looking like a really solid, interesting event. I mean, I'm all in, honestly. There's so many different people who could actually win this thing. Even though I'm banking on Kairi Hojo at this point, there's so many different people who can win. Whereas even with the Cruiserweight Classic, there's only a small handful of people I really thought could have a shot at winning.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong about all of them, so there. But anyway, we're going to pay close attention to the Mae Young Classic as it happens. Hopefully we can avoid some spoilers. But until then, let's talk about balls. Great balls.
Fiery balls. Great fiery balls.
I got balls on fire.
WWE Great Balls of Fire. Segue. Pre-show, we've got first Neville defeating Akira Tozawa. I'll be honest with you, I came in late. I did not watch this match.
You honestly didn't miss much in this. It was an okay match. The finish was very lackluster, to say the least. It was just.
Would you say it was mediocre?
Mediocre. But seriously, though, it was a lot. It was I was expecting a lot more in this match. They're obviously going to keep this going, so they're going to have a better match. But when it came to the finish, just dropping Tozawa on his balls on the rope I guess it was was it a super kick? Or was it like a super kick to his balls? I don't know. It looked like it was from the one angle I remember. It looked like it was just a kick to the midsection that got that pin.
Yeah, it was really awkward looking. Like it was something like you wouldn't expect out of a Neville match. Like it looked like a botch.
It just the ending was just so abrupt that it was just like, holy shit, really? That's it?
I mean, everything leading up to it was the Neville Cruiserweight title match that you would expect to be having. Like, it was good, it was enjoyable. I was watching it very closely, and then all of a sudden that happened, and I was like,
what?
It's like going to the food metaphors.
We're just gonna keep going back.
Okay.
Apparently, that's our thing.
You get that you're eating the appetizer. It's really good, and then like the last bite that you take just dries up your mouth, and like it's like cat food.
Here's the thing. I'll actually do you one better. It's with the appetizer metaphor. It's you have the appetizer, you're thinking, okay, it's actually not too bad, and then when you're actually getting ready to actually enjoy it, they take it away. No explanation. It's just, oh yeah, I'm actually really starting to enjoy this. Zoink, gone.
Done.
Really? That's it? And yeah, that's how I felt with this match. I like that they actually showed a clip of Tozawa actually, not a clip, like a backstage segment. We're showing that he is actually legit pissed, and he's talking to Titus O'Neil, and he's just like, "You're gonna get me a rematch." And yeah, that was. And Titus is just like, what? Oh man, I actually got to do something now. That's pretty much what his expression was. Oh shit, I got to try and do this, or else I'll lose this client.
Hey, at least
to the Titus worldwide.
Here. At least there's progression.
Very lackluster, but it's something.
It's better than what
it's
they
only
had
been
before.
3 months of nothing. Now we finally got.
Now they abruptly turn him face, and now they're actually doing somewhat something.
Huh.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get there. Hopefully, it'll lead up to something good. But speaking of something good, next match: Bray Wyatt defeated Seth Rollins. How many of us actually saw this coming?
Well, we all got the prediction.
We all got the prediction.
Well, yeah, we did. But how many people in general? I know we all like Bray Wyatt, but
well,
just seems like this was
most people.
It was one of those. Seth Rollins is going to win the feud, obviously, because that's how a Bray Wyatt feud works. The face always wins. But what also happens is that Bray Wyatt always wins first.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. From what it looked like, what happened. Well, when it came to the match itself, it was pretty straightforward. It could have been a Raw match. It was good, but it wasn't like pay-per-view
Bray
good.
Wyatt with the rake to the eyes, the sister.
It's not even just a rake. It was a thumb. It was a good his like taped up thumb to the eye, so that affected him a lot. And then Sister Abigail win. But yeah, it was the match itself. It was okay. It was very straightforward and nothing spectacular really happened in it. So it didn't leave people. It left people disappointed because the feud people haven't been really caring about it anyway. Even we've talked about it how the feud is pretty much built on nothing. It's just them wasting time. And then when it comes to
and then on Raw you had the rematch kind of, and then it was overshadowed by either the rumored Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins feud with Dean Ambrose turning heel, or the Shield reunion, whatever's coming.
From what it's looking like, they're just inserting Seth Rollins into the Intercontinental Championship feud.
I feel like it's all signs are going to come down to more of a Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose thing than The Miz. Like The Miz is like the linch point of that storyline to either get Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose to their feud or to get the Shield reunion. That storyline goes one or two ways. We get the Dean Ambrose heel turn, and we get the Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose again with the alignments changed, or we get a Shield reunion going through the full months. Okay.
And I sure hope it's the latter.
But okay, where does that leave the Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt feud? Was this just like one?
Was it one and done? Is it over?
Or is it like two? Well, Bray Wyatt wins twice. It's like, okay, that's kind of cut and dry there. There's no 50-50 booking. Bray Wyatt just beat him twice, whether it was by nefarious means or not.
It's just, I find it kind of funny because when it comes to facing each member of the Shield, which Bray Wyatt has, he beats 2 out of the 3. If they just end this feud with Seth Rollins. He won the feud with Dean Ambrose, and now if they move it here, he won the feud with Seth Rollins.
And he lost the feud handily with Roman Reigns, but who wins a feud with Roman Reigns? Yeah, I'm looking at Braun Strowman too. He wins the match.
To that.
When it comes to what the potential could be in the near future, if they're inserting Seth Rollins into the Dean Ambrose Miz feud, I don't look at it as a full until it actually happens, and I can just eat my words. I don't look at it as kind of a heel turn for Seth Rollins. I just kind of look at it as kind of a redemption story for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose view. I mean, they pretty much did that with Roman Reigns. He already made peace with Roman Reigns and with that part of the Shield.
But it's got to be a lot harder.
Maybe one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship in the future. Which, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship? Yes, please.
Yeah, that'll do. I would still really love to see a Shield reunion angle, even though they said that this isn't happening. Like they can easily spin that as a red herring if they wanted to. Even
though they already pretty much gave a middle finger to continuity, because apparently the tribute to the Troop Show is non-canon in WWE storyline, because from the club with AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows to the New Day to the Shield showing up, and yeah, they seem to be best buds there. But yeah, no continuity apparently. But yeah, I see this as kind of a big factor of a redemption story with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose eyes, which I actually think could be really good storytelling. And plus, with The Miz being on a hot streak, being the heel Intercontinental Champion, why the hell not?
Hey, there's any number of ways this can go. But as far as this next match, Big Cass beating Enzo Amore.
Brian got what he wanted.
Epic beatdown.
He got his epic beatdown. He proved the both of us wrong.
I'm listening to you guys on the preview show talking about this could be huge for Enzo Amore.
I'm not saying it could be huge for it'd be huge for both of them.
Well, I know that, but it's also, remember how they've been booking this guy for the last 7 months since Big Cass was in the Universal title match. And Enzo Amore comes back. Like, they were a legit tag team for like a month. And then they made Enzo Amore into a joke. That's not going to change just because Big Cass turned on him. He got his moment in the sun with those two epic promos. The one on Raw and the one before the pay-per-view. All to make it all the more sympathetic when Big Cass comes down and eats him alive. That was my thought the entire time, and boom. Because they do not. Well, first, and then you get the news that there's backstage heat on Enzo Amore because of a bus incident that Roman Reigns kicked him out of the bus, and he's got.
Apparently, Big Cass is in trouble too.
And he's got. Well, Big Cass is more. The wrestlers don't like him because he's a huge Donald Trump supporter. That was pretty much what that was. But he has heat with the boys. Enzo Amore has heat with the Office, and
everyone has heat. They both have heat with someone.
Yeah, and
gotta get heat.
And the heat with the Office allows Big Cass to give Enzo Amore my favorite thing in wrestling, the epic beatdown.
And now he has to feud with the Big Show.
And now he has to feud with the Big Show, and
even though it actually was inevitable. Once Big Cass was pointing fingers at Big Show with the whole whodunit storyline, even though we all know clear as day whodunit, it was just inevitable that was going to be his first feud. And I'm sorry, I still can't see Big Cass. I still can't see Big Cass as going anywhere. And okay, here's a Scholar's Quick Talk.
I am large as well.
Yeah. Scholar's Quick Talk for the both of you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on his new theme song?
Boring.
Generic creator wrestler number one.
Yes, exactly. I think it's generic creator wrestler number 23.
Oh.
All the way down there. Not even all the way down to the bottom. That's how
I was always a fan of number 14 myself.
Yeah. Oh my god, that theme song is terrible. Oh my god, I don't even know.
It's like they want him to fail. They take away his mouthpiece, and then
I need to see more of him. He's very bland to me.
He is very bland. Even though his promo wasn't like what he said wasn't bad. It's just his execution from Monday, setting up that he wants the Universal title and all that nonsense. He's the biggest 7-foot guy apparently. And excuse me, it was just poor. It was just poorly executed. You can tell Like he has gotten better on the mic, but he is nowhere near what Vince McMahon wants to put him. But I said it before and I'll say it again. They broke those two up way too soon.
I'm going to have to agree. Unless they've got some big end game plan in mind for both these guys,
they don't.
This was really premature.
Yeah,
not a fan.
Especially with the fact they want Big Cass to go forward, but he's not great on the promos yet. He still sounds like he's reading off of cue cards when he's cutting them. He takes those pauses that makes it seem like he forgot the word that he was supposed to use, and then he goes back into it. I'm like, that was why they had Enzo with him in the first place. Remember how shit he was when he first came into NXT?
Let me ask you guys. Do you actually see Big Cass as a bad guy? Just from actually looking at him.
I don't see Big Cass as a singles wrestler at all. I could see him as a bad guy, like him and Enzo turning and going all gangster and whatever.
He's basically Test. He's Test.
At least with Test, I can actually tell, like, he could be a guy that could be a face. A terrible face. I mean, do you remember that he was engaged to Stephanie McMahon at one point?
I do.
Pepperidge Farm.
Yes.
Pepperidge Farm, remember?
But even then, Test had way more charisma than...
Yeah. Like, I like the guy. I do. But he is absolutely nothing without Enzo, and Enzo is kind of nothing without him, without Big Cass. They are like the two peas in the pod that really need to be in that pod.
I disagree. Really, Enzo is such a good talker. Even if he retired from in-ring competition, he could easily be one of the best managers they will ever have.
Which is what I think he should really do.
Big Cass isn't bad. I saw some nice little psychology moments during the match with Enzo Amore, where he's just sort of messing with him. But it's just,
this wasn't even
very bland to me.
He needs the time and care that they should have given to Roman Reigns. They need to give it to Big Cass now. Okay, because it's basically the same boat. He's got the skills.
He's not winning against Big Show.
He's got the skills wrestling-wise. He needs work on the character. Bland City. Same problem with Roman Reigns we're having with Big Cass. The only difference is they didn't give a shit with Roman Reigns. They just kept going. But that's... Yeah. First, with the Enzo thing, he should just stop. They should give him a guy, make him a manager, make him a mouthpiece, because that's what he's good at. Okay, I don't even think he's that great a wrestler myself. He's there to
You're
talk
not alone
shit.
on that.
He's there to talk shit, and he's really good at that. So give him the forum to do that. You had that with Big Cass. You killed it now, but you give him another up and comer who needs a mouthpiece.
I wouldn't say it's dead.
No, it's dead.
With Big Cass and Enzo,
It's kill
in WWE, never say never. I mean, look at Kane and Undertaker. Kane tried to kill Undertaker on multiple occasions, and they end up being the best of buds because
because it's demons and none of that shit makes sense.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H had one hell of a Hell in a Cell match ready to tear each other apart, and yet they still reunited DX 5 years later.
Best friends make the best enemies.
I look at it exactly with this one. I see Enzo and Cass happening.
No, Big Cass and Enzo is not Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
No, and hey, Enzo and Cass are not the Rockers either. People keep comparing them to the whole Shawn Michaels is throwing Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. It's not the same thing. It's at least the difference between that, Shawn Michaels can actually succeed in a singles career. I don't see that with Big Cass. Like I said, nothing against the guy. I just don't see it. He needs a complete character change.
Nothing against the guy, but I think he sucks.
And Enzo
Nothing against the guy. I just think he's terribly bland and doesn't have the future that they're hoping that they would have.
Enzo needs to be a mouthpiece for another guy before he goes back to Big Cass. We need time in between.
Imagine he wins the tag team titles with someone else. Before
all we had was specials, though.
Before Big Cass even wins a belt, period, or a title. They're not belts; they're titles. Because, like what Kevin Owens said.
All right. Speaking of,
Did you see that video?
Speaking of the tag team titles, we still got a lot of stuff to cover, including my personal pick for match of the night: Sheamus and Cesaro defeating the Hardy Boys in their 30-minute Iron Man tag match for the Raw tag titles. Match of the night. Bam.
I agree, hands down. And of course, it's actually really funny because at one point I just going to be a little off topic. Well, not really. Just while we were killing time with this match, we decided to quote Clerks, a lot of Clerks quotes, and of course I was having a ball with that one. But when we actually got back to the match, I loved every second of this match. It was so good. I loved them trying to riff on the 16 seconds for Sheamus and Cesaro. And of course, me being the complete hard-on for Cesaro once he actually got that pin on Jeff Hardy after he swanton Sheamus. I was losing my mind. I was laughing hysterically. I was running up to the television, looking at all the shots of all the sad faces, and be like, "Yeah, that's right. You get to see Sheamus and Cesaro as tag team champions still, you whiny little bitches. Yes, drink it in. See this? They just proved they don't raise the bar. They are the fucking bar." There we go. That was my one.
I did find that last pin a little weird. Because, I mean, Jeff Hardy hits his finisher and he gets... What?
That's why I call them high-risk maneuvers.
I was like,
sir.
What? Oh, okay.
And
I'm not mad, but what the fuck, man?
And Cesaro gets the pin. He's just like, 18 seconds. Whoop, 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 whoop. Time's up. Yay! I almost got pinned, but time's up. Yay! That's right. They show that they are awesome.
Yes.
I was losing my
good
mind.
Psychology. This whole thing was just fun.
Okay, I must have. What part was it? Was it that double high risk that Matt and Jeff did that busted up Matt's face?
I didn't catch that. I really missed it. But all I know is he got busted up.
It was brutal.
Or should I say, broken?
Well, I don't know. That's what they say.
He called himself broken, and the next night on Raw,
Jeff Hardy
classified himself as obsolete.
He's like, we're beaten up, we're bruised, we maybe even be broken.
What's happening?
It's getting close. It's in news. It's getting closer. Like
the settlement, yeah.
The settlement is getting closer. So it's like as the settlement gets closer and closer to being done, you're getting more and more glimpses from them of that universe. So
Sheamus got fucked up. Well, I already said my one. Sheamus got messed up in that match. That when he got after that super twist of fate, he looked out of it. He looked like he got legit hurt in that one. Even the spot even looked cringe. It was cringeworthy.
Yeah, it looked like his mind got deleted.
It was like that one spot when all those years ago when Bubba Ray Dudley got pretty much got a big concussion in that match, and he doesn't even remember that second half. And it's like, dude, do you know what's going on? That's not good. Mikey, this is not good.
Obscure references.
Seriously, guys, I think I'm dying here. But yeah, Sheamus looked out of it, and then they even show a video of him getting examined after the match. I was like, damn, this is just... These two guys know how to work with each other, but they know how to mess each other up. Bang, bang.
Yeah, in all seriousness, this is the kind of thing that really sold me on Sheamus and Cesaro do. This again, it's
Welcome to the party, pal.
I know it was just a good match all around. Very exciting, and the after effects
very
they're still
consistent.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Very consistent. 30-minute Iron Man matches. There's normally like a lull or whatever where it's kind of boring in the middle.
This was very well paced.
This was very consistent, very well paced. Everything was crisp, and it was an enjoyable 30 minutes to sit through.
Mm-hmm. And I like that they actually had Gallows and Anderson have a match with the Hardys, and of course beat him. And then the Revival came in and messed them up even more, hinting more at the broken thing since they just were going after Matt and his messed up eye and just beating the hell out of him. Hopefully this is a start of actually revitalizing the Raw Tag Team division, because for a while it's just been the Hardy Boys and Sheamus and Cesaro. And now we have the Revival and the Club. The Club is back. Hopefully they're adding more to this. Other than those four, who else is there on Raw Tag Team wise?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Finally, they're doing something.
Yes.
One face team and 3 heels?
I'm sure they're going to make something out of this. Again, we'll just have to keep watching and find out. In the meantime, we also had for the Raw Women's title, Sasha Banks defeated Alexa Bliss via countout.
This match was not good.
Yeah, this one was.
Although that the Alexa Bliss bit where was double jointed elbow,
that was neat.
That was honestly, they should have saved that at the end. They should have saved that to the end of the match instead of doing the count out, which I actually hated. And it's actually funny because I even said it at Money in the Bank. I actually liked it with the Usos. If they didn't do that the very next event with Alexa Bliss at that part, okay, now that they keep doing that and they're repeating what they're doing on both shows, that's what actually got to me.
Yeah, because it's like I actually enjoyed this for what it was during the actual match, but then when the countout happened, I was like,
Even the countout was very like, it was just very like, wow, is this really happening? Like
at that point, I was like,
Sasha Banks at one point was just standing there waiting for Alexa to get in, and then she goes in and Alexa slaps her. It's like, you idiot! What are you doing? It's not a way. It's the difference between like the New Day and the Usos. They had an awesome match, and they found a way to keep it going, to keep the feud going and keep us invested. Because it was actually for them doing the countout was a good idea storyline wise. For this one, not so much. I'm no longer invested in Sasha Banks. She's reaching to that point where when she shows up on TV, I'm just like, mute. Not Nikki Bella level, but she's reaching that point where every time I just like look at her and I'm like, yeah, she's overrated. And now are they planning a fatal 4-way for SummerSlam since they had Bayley take be the one to pin Alexa?
That would be too many fatal 4-ways.
It looks like for when it comes to Raw, they're really building up multi-man title matches.
Yeah.
It's just this match. It wasn't that great. They do have chemistry, but nothing spectacular. Not like I wasn't really as entertained in the match. Other than that Alexa Bliss bit, which I said again should have been the ending of that match because it would have completely caught Sasha Banks off guard. And once Alexa hits the finishing move, didn't really hurt Sasha Banks, but instead they had that stupid count out ending and the brawl on the stage and the announce table. Sasha Banks is gonna. I hate that I keep saying this every week.
The bumps, man.
She's gonna have a short career if she keeps doing this shit. That one, like, her back is so messed up The fact that she did that knee, what is that move she calls when she jumps off and lands the knees onto the person's shoulders?
Sparkle Splash?
I don't know what it's called, but I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
But she does that move and lands on her knees on the floor. Not only does that mess up your knees, that messes up your back too, because you're just standing. You're basically pressuring down, caving down on your spine.
Her discs are gonna be shit.
She's gonna have, and not even just Sasha Banks, but did that bump look? She looked like she like her lower region, her full lower region completely collapsed on Alexa Bliss's head. And this is gonna be an outside reference for our listeners don't know this. It's similar to when your hip crushed my head in our match.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Once upon a time.
And far, far away.
But yeah, Alexa looked like she got legit hurt. She could have gotten. I think she may have almost got a concussion, maybe a little light concussion out of that, because her head slammed on the floor, and having all of Sasha's weight land on her head. You even see that her nose was busted up. It was just not. It just that whole segment looked ugly, not in the good way either. Plus, it busted up Alexa Bliss, so it made her look a little hotter. Seeing that strain of blood running down her nose, it's very sexy.
Okay, moving on. Miz defeated Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. This was another very forgettable one for me, honestly.
I agree.
I've got nothing to say about
this. It was basically Dean Ambrose and The Miz part 10. Nothing changed. Nothing. The only thing different was how The Miz won.
It was just it's just pretty much how Miz has been winning his matches. Instead of just not only Maurice, but you just add Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas.
The only difference is how Dean Ambrose responded the next night on Raw. I got some of that anger that I wanted to see instead of the happy-go-lucky Dean Ambrose.
We're slowly getting our wish on that one.
He was very intense on Monday, all throughout. That 7 chair shot, not even stopping, just keep whacking him. And also, you got the intense confrontation between Ambrose and Rollins in the background. Just like happy-go-lucky Dean Ambrose a couple weeks ago would have been making jokes about Seth Rollins. Instead, he's just like, "No, dude."
I hope it's a step in the right direction. I guess we said it in full detail with Rollins and Wyatt, but yeah, it's a step in the right direction. We're slowly getting what we're wanting in Dean Ambrose. And WWE, don't mess this up.
Let's keep this version of Dean Ambrose for as long as we can before the WWE starts going back to making him do jokes and shit.
And that's what keeps me hoping for the best here.
No more dressing up as a Mountie or as the Mountie.
Yeah, please don't.
Yes, and not for nothing. If this next segment proves anything to me, is that WWE is still capable of greatness, because Braun Strowman did end up defeating Roman Reigns legitimately in an ambulance match.
It just made Roman Reigns look like they made throughout most of this match. They made Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns Shawn Stasiak.
Okay.
Do you remember when someone put the hit on Triple H and Shawn Michaels, and every time, like when they move out of the way, Shawn Stasiak just jumps across looking like he's about to attack them, and he just misses because they stepped out of the way?
Oh wow, I totally forgot about that.
They did that with Braun Strowman most of the match, throwing like him charging at a turnbuckle, and Roman Reigns missed jumping out of the way, and him continuing through. And then they did it with Roman Reigns, where he's about to spear Braun through the ambulance. Braun spears. Braun moves out of the way, and Roman's just like whee into the ambulance.
And then Strowman just closes the door, and it's like, wow, really?
I was like, oh my god! It's like, okay, they made it so Braun didn't beat down Roman Reigns and have him win, but you made Roman Reigns look like a complete goof.
You made him look like a complete goof in the match, and then you made him look like a psycho murderer after the match.
Not even just the psycho murderer, a psycho sore loser.
Yeah, it's like,
He
who's
wa-
the bad guy here?
Yeah,
Seriously.
Braun did nothing wrong. He took advantage of a situation that Roman put himself in.
Braun is a good boy.
Braun is a good boy. This has to be a double turn.
I was gonna say it was gonna be.
It makes no sense.
Roman Reigns attempted to murder a human being, and Braun Strowman walked out like a badass. This was their Bret Hart Stone Cold moment.
And Kurt Angle is looking over. How are you walking?
How are you walking? Wait, why am I letting Roman Reigns walk away?
Why am I letting Why am I letting Roman Reigns walk away? And how the hell are you moving?
Because Braun.
And it was fun. It was a fun segment, but I swear to God, there's now like they have done their damnedest to make Roman Reigns like the most hated guy in WWE right now. Because you took one of the most popular characters in Braun Strowman and have Roman Reigns try and kill him.
And of course, Roman Reigns loses the match. Looks like a bitch in the process. Goes all psycho murderer afterwards. Comes out, immediately demands a title shot against Brock Lesnar. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's why I agree. That's why I agree with Brock Lesnar in that segment. It's like
you don't deserve.
You don't deserve. I love that. Like he took Paul Heyman's Michael. He's like, oh yeah, well, that match definitely should happen. Are you kidding me? You don't deserve shit. You think you can come out here and think you deserve a title shot? You don't deserve shit. And then I was like, yeah, he's absolutely right because you lost. And I even love that even some wrestling websites are making jokes about that. You lose your match at the pay-per-view, automatically you try and kill someone, you get a title shot. You get an opportunity for a title shot afterwards.
Oh boy!
Oh my God! Storylines are a complete mess in WWE.
But either way,
no logic whatsoever.
Either way, I'm just glad Braun Strowman is still continually being booked as strong as he is. I love it.
I love it too.
Finally, we have a big guy who's booked like he should be.
And he has the athleticism to back it up.
Yeah. Hey,
and he's just the coolest. He's the coolest dude to follow on videos.
Remember
and posts.
2 years ago when he couldn't do shit? That is completely different now.
It's just, and it's astounding how much he progressed throughout 1 year. 1 year.
Yes, and not for nothing, this whole segment also gave us the second match of the night. Heath Slater versus Kurt Hawkins. Heath Slater beating Kurt Hawkins.
Are you sure about that? Because we never saw the ending of that match. We just heard it.
It's good enough.
It's like, are you sure this match happened? Because Pepperidge Farm forgot.
Okay, I'll tell you what though.
Thank you, JML, for that joke.
I know you've mentioned that certain matches felt like filler. This is really the only one I can really truly recall in recent memory that this was literally filler.
Filler that they didn't even give two shits about because we didn't even see the ending of the match.
That's exactly what filler is.
Oh my God! You know what they should have done? Instead of just throwing a random match together with two guys that no one wanted. Did you hear that "We Want Balor" chant? They were chanting that hard, and what they should have done is just after the segment, just go to show commercial. Hell, show the thing for Battleground. Show another commercial for the for Shop, and then go back to them opening the ambulance and seeing a completely bloody Braun Strowman. To hell with the match. It was just a momentum killer because we're just like, what the hell is this?
Because everybody's like, okay, it's time, getting ready. Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, let's go. The fuck?
Now we get Heath Slater.
Heath Slater comes out.
One man band! What? What? Huh?
Buzz Killington is a real thing.
Kurt Hawkins? What? Heath Slater? What is this? What is going on? Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins should have been a part of the Hype Bros.
But anyway,
because he's going absolute. He's gonna just. Why did they give him his job back?
Because someone's got to do the jobs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Well, anyway, let's take this home all the way. We've got Brock Lesnar defeating Samoa Joe, but just barely. I enjoyed this match, but I thought it was a little on the anticlimactic side.
Here's my problem with it. I loved it. I love what they did. and it did what we were hoping that it would do, that we talked about last week. Samoa Joe is now a bona fide main eventer. He's not a top mid card. He's nothing like that. He is a solid main eventer from here on out.
And that promo he cut afterwards, it just, you didn't beat me, you survived.
Yeah.
That
everything
so
like
good.
the match
So
did
good
the match did what it needed to do. The only criticism I have, and what I've been hearing other people having, is that they could have made it go a little longer. Just a little bit. At least make it to the 10-minute mark, because from what I saw, it was only 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, that I blinked and it was over.
I'm not mad at that, really, because I think of that like this is something that I haven't seen in a while. This is what I love. A brawl, basically. A knockdown, drag-out fight where someone can get knocked out at any time. I think that's what they were going for.
And they succeeded on it.
So it's like 6.5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, kind of makes sense. Because they're going full bore. They're hitting each other with everything they've got. Any one shot. This was like an MMA fight. Without the MMA moves. You could get knocked out at any time. The match could end at any time. That's why everyone mad with the 1F5. I'm not mad with the 1F5. I'm really not. Because, first of all, okay, I think back to the Attitude Era and that kind of thing when it was like, hey, you hit someone with a finisher, they're done. And I know that we've come to expect in this day and age John Cena kicking out of 4 finishers, Roman Reigns kicking out of Styles clashes on chairs, and all. But this was a throwback to the golden age, where a finisher gets hit at any time the match is over, especially with the power that Brock Lesnar is using to hit that F5. Like, he hit that flush. Like, it was awesome. So it's like, and I was like, okay, Samoa Joe, as much as I would like to see him kick out, should be done here. Should be. So I wasn't mad when he was done there. It was really an MMA fight for me. Because Brock Lesnar was in the Coquina clutch, got out of it, and got out of it by hitting the F5.
Well, we all saw that coming.
Yeah, we all saw that coming, but it was also awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm not mad. Everyone mad that this match went 6.5 minutes. I'm perfectly fine with it because that's how I feel like that's how that match was always going to go. They're gonna pull out all the stops in the beginning. They're just gonna be going for the knockout.
And not for nothing, a match like that with the way it was executed, it legitimately made you want to see more.
Exactly.
Which makes me believe that at some point, maybe sooner than we think, he's going to challenge for the Universal title again.
I have a feeling it's gonna be. I have a feeling it's gonna be at SummerSlam in another multi-man match.
Probably.
And that's what we hinted at. And it's funny. That wasn't even the plan before. It was just this was supposed to be a one and done. But just how much this went over, how much this whole match and just the feel of it went over. It made them rethink. It made them replan what they want to do with the main event for SummerSlam. Well, at least the Raw main event. Mm-hmm. Who knows what they're going to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just wanted just a little more time. Just a little bit. It may be nitpicking, but I got what I wanted from this match. I was pumped. I loved Samoa Joe just going balls to the wall, beating the living shit out of Brock. Him putting Brock through that table. It was awesome. I just wish there was just a little more time, just a little more beat down. I guess that's just what they were going for. They made it that short because we want more. I guess that is just what we wanted. That's what they want us to feel.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So anyway, before we close out, final ratings for WWE Great Balls of Fire.
I'll go full beard.
I can see that.
There were a couple things that were meh, so you can't go the full Monty. But there was nothing that was out and out bad. So no match was one that I actually actively sat there and said, I hate this. Why is it on my screen? I don't care enough about Kurt Hawkins versus Heath Slater for that to affect my rating, because during that match we got to see the bloody and broken Braun Strowman get off and walk off like a beast. So that's it. So yeah. I'm like, okay, something good did come out of this schlock. So, but yeah, this was a good show.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5, just on the same grounds that you just did. Again, it was good, but it wasn't spectacular. And I feel like, personally, a 4 out of 5 will warrant a much better show than this, or at least more high-quality matches beyond just Cesaro and Sheamus defeating the Hardy Boys. As good as that was, I think it needed more matches of that caliber to warrant a higher rating. So, 3 out of 5 for me.
I'm gonna go full beard. I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 as well. The second half was definitely better than the first half. By the two main events, I was basically in hook, line, and sinker. I was just so invested in what was going on. The Iron Man tag team match was just awesome in so many ways. There's really nothing more, like what Brian said, there was no bad match, at least on the main show. I would question the cruiserweight match. Yeah, nothing really more else to say. I was invested, and I think this is the Raw brand's best show so far. Post brand split.
Very interesting. So yeah, that's our thoughts on WWE Great Balls of Fire. Now it's your turn to let us know what you think. What did you think of Great Balls of Fire? What was your match of the night? Where are we going from here? Let us know throughout all the usual avenues. Leave us a comment below. Thumbs up if you like what you hear. Subscribe if you want to hear more every single week. You can also look us up on our Facebook page, at the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Check us out. And of course, you can also follow us on Twitter, starting with our main show page at ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads as they happen. And of course, for extra fun and funsies, you can also check us out on our personal Twitter accounts for all the latest commentaries, jokes, whatever have you, on all things wrestling and all things life. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avataric.
Mr. Brian.
You can find me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can find me at I'm Robbie Rage. Because it's true. I am.
Speaking of it's true, what do you think the whole scandal for Kurt Angle is going to be?
He married a giant burrito named Susan.
Brian?
There's been rumors of Dixie Carter floating around.
Like I said, a giant burrito named Susan.
There you go.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Anyway, we may not know.
I don't know how to respond to yours. I don't know why I'm pointing to Brian.
We may not know what.
You're confusing the hell out of me.
Well, I'll tell you what. We may not know what Kurt Angle's secret is, but I'll tell you what. You know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. Let's go eat a giant burrito named Susan.
He's secretly banging Stephanie McMahon.
Fire in the hole!